Connor, I didn't particularly sleep very well last night, so I'm going to start off hella negative with this first takeaway from the last window. And that's about a team that we've called out to the warning signs multiple times prior to this video. And that's Venezuela. And I think Venezuela are in serious effing trouble right now. I'm not sure what's worse from Venezuela. The fact that you lost to Chile, the fact that you allowed Chile to score 4 goals, the fact that you've conceded 4 goals in 2 of your last 3 away games, or the fact that Venezuela have lost 3 away games in a row. But either way, however you want to dice this thing up, it's getting pretty crisis mode for Venezuela. This team's last win was beating Jamaica 3-0 at the Copa America in the group stage. And it's just been a series of valiant draws at home and bad L's away ever since. Like, these guys are cemented as Maturin merchants. I've been saying that for a year. It has proven correct. And their World Cup is in serious jeopardy now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My one listen, if Bolivia keeps playing the way that they do, and Venezuela keeps playing the way that they are, Bolivia's in the World Cup, baby. Bolivia is in the World Cup. Goodbye, Venezuela. That's what it's looking like. Yeah. You can be as valiant as you want at home. Bolivia wins at home. That supersedes.
This is the crazy thing about Venezuela, is I felt like in the beginning what made them good was defensively they were quite strong, and then they would occasionally nip you on the counterattack for a goal or something. But as things stand right now in qualifying, they've allowed 15 goals, which is tied for third worst. It's only worse than Chile and Bolivia, and it's tied with maybe the worst Peru side we've seen in 40 years. And this is a team that's supposed to be good at defense. I mean, they've lost their identity completely. I think Batista's lost the plot. And I'm going to ask you in the comments right now, if Venezuela do not qualify for the World Cup, surely you have to sack Batista, despite what he did at the Copa America.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah. No. It's about the World Cup. No matter what anybody tells you, no matter what sort of tribalistic fans are out there, that want to claim that club form or maybe the domestic tournaments the Euros are harder than the World Cup. No. Don't listen to a single person. Every single FA in the world prioritizes the World Cup. The World Cup takes priority. It is the biggest sporting competition in the world. And I'm sorry, I don't care if you had a decent finish at the Copa America. If you don't make it to the World Cup, you are a failure. Especially now with the expanded amount of teams that are qualifying for the World Cup, there is quite literally no excuse for any of the teams in South America to not be there. So, frankly, switch it up. Hit the carousel.
Yeah, I'd be really curious to see if back home in Venezuela, what the people are saying and what the press are saying, because to your point, you cannot be in a situation where CONMEBOL has expanded World Cup spots and you allow Bolivia to take one from you. It's inexcusable, given the talent on this Venezuela side.
Yeah.
He has to be sacked.
Dude, and I would extend that to every single team in CONMEBOL. If you have a team that is fielded in CONMEBOL, you have no excuse to not make it to the World Cup. I think anybody that does not make it needs to seriously look at some changes being made in-house.
Venezuela may have just given Gareca in Chile the win that they needed to make a late push. Like, they looked so dead. Chile hadn't won in 8 games, dude. It was the longest winless streak in CONMEBOL, and you let them put a 4-piece on you. Just like you let Bolivia put a 4-piece on you. They're collapsing 100%.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw the highlights for this game in real time, but it's like the marking is non-existent anymore. The Venezuelan midfield has completely vanished. They used to just be full of dogs who would just foul you. and they were just really
No
aggressive,
longer.
zero chance creation. No more. Those days are gone. I don't know how those days are gone because they were like 2 months ago, but those days are gone. And I'm even gonna say, dude, just because why not? I would probably get rid of Batista right now. You have
You
6
think
games left,
you would start it right now? Yeah.
dude.
Because
I
hear me
mean,
out. Hear me out. If you win 3 games, if you win 3, there are 6 games left to play. You win
mhm.
3 of those 6 games, which they are not easy. I think they play Brazil and Uruguay inside of those games, but that's okay. Those can be losses. If you win 3 of those games, you might qualify. You might qualify for the play-in.
Yeah,
Because Bolivia, I don't know if Bolivia wins 3 out of 6.
they have Ecuador away, Peru at home, Bolivia at home. Have to be 6.
Have to be
Then
6.
you got Uruguay away, Argentina away,
Okay.
Colombia at home. I mean, mm, I would give them 30% chance they make the World Cup at this point.
Yeah.
It's low.
Maybe
Quite
even
low.
less with their recent terrible form, and because take a look at Bolivia's. Or here, let me pull up Bolivia's.
Okay.
Let me look at Bolivia's here. Bolivia has Peru away. That could be winnable.
Winnable.
They have Uruguay at home, Venezuela away, Chile at home, Colombia away, and Brazil at home. So that's tough. You got Uruguay and Brazil at home.
Oh. Oh, interesting.
What do you think?
Dude,
What do you think? Because they've
if that's
definitely
the
got the harder
horizon,
home
then
record.
mother effing Chile might come out of nowhere.
Chile might come out of nowhere. Look, can I look at Chile's? Can I look at Chile's really quickly?
Yeah.
Yo.
I mean, it ain't great. It ain't
It ain't
great.
great. Oh, it ain't great.
Actually, it's
Chile not
no, it
doing
ain't gonna be
nothing,
Chile.
bro.
No,
It
it
ain't
ain't gonna
gonna
be
be
Chile.
Chile.
No, Chile losing 5 of these last 6
Chile
games for
losing
sure.
5, bro. We said
Oh my
Chile might
god.
do something.
Dude, literally Chile's easiest game left is the last game Uruguay at home. That's the easiest game they have left.
Yeah, they have Paraguay away, Ecuador at home, Argentina at home, Bolivia away, Brazil
Mm.
away, and then Uruguay
Mm.
at home.
Yeah, they're cooked.
Oh,
They are
jeez.
absolutely done. All right, I'm looking at Peru now. Maybe it's up to Peru. Okay. We might have something here. Peru have Bolivia at home. Got to be 3. Venezuela away. They can get a draw there. Colombia away. That's probably an L.
Mhm.
Ecuador at home. That's the one for me. That's going to be the worst game in qualifying. But if
I
Peru
was
can
like, what do
just
you mean that's the
scrape
one?
something, dude. I mean, it's the one you don't watch, but if someone can win that match, it's massive. Uruguay away. I feel like the Uruguayans going to get revenge. And then Paraguay at home on the last match day. It's going to come down to who wins the games at home. And I just have one stat before we move on to illustrate how dependent Venezuela is at home. In their last 3 games at home, Venezuela have a plus 19 shot advantage to their opposition. And those were games against Brazil, Uruguay, and Argentina. And they outshot those teams by 20, we'll just say, which is insane. Now they got 3 points from those games, which is also insane. No wins. Their last 3 road games, they've been outshot by 14. So basically a 100% flip from playing at home to playing away. And those away games were Paraguay, Bolivia, and Chile. So it's going to come down to, can Venezuela win more games at Maturin, or is Bolivia going to win more games than at Alto? That's going to decide it. I think Chile are really done. That schedule's crazy.
Yeah, they're cooked. They are
Yeah,
cooked.
they're cooked. So that's my takeaway. I think Venezuela, who were so many people said these guys were the darlings of this cycle and they were destined for something greater. They are plummeting right now. I don't think they have a win in 5, dude. No, I know. Their last win was Copa America. I already said that. They got the worst record in the last 5 games of any team in CONMEBOL.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about
Absolutely
hitting the
crazy.
panic button here for teams like Uruguay. I think Venezuela is who we should be focusing on. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
Uruguay, look who got a tie. Look who got a tie. In Brazil.
Yeah.
Neither of us saw that coming.
No, I didn't. We probably should have in hindsight. I was annoyed by that. I was like, God, why did I back Brazil? Especially when Vinicius was starting. I was like, there's no way they're going to win now.
I don't think we knew that Vinicius was starting. I don't think we knew that.
No, we didn't. We didn't. But
No, but
I don't
either
know.
way, we should be aware. I think we were trying to predict a lot of things happening. We didn't do necessarily awfully. I certainly improved this time,
I don't know about it.
marginally, but it was there. I think we just have to keep in mind that this is CONMEBOL. This is CONMEBOL, and these teams are going to get after it. And, Uruguay can be down for, how long was it? We were hitting the emergency button. We were hitting the panic button.
Probably 3 windows.
6 games. No, yeah, 6 games. If the math is mathing.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, look who's back.
Yeah, they're in second now, just like that.
And who's in fourth?
Colombia.
You got anything to say about Colombia?
I got a lot to say. Do you have something to say first?
I'm curious because I looked at this and I said, I don't even know where to begin.
Well, you can look at it 2 ways. You can say Colombia are in bad form, or you can say this is who they actually are. Now, the Argentines will say this is who they actually are. But those with actual ball knowledge will understand that I think this is just a little bit of regression from a team that, let's be very honest, is the most wasteful team in South America. And that's not Jack's opinion. They literally have the most big chances missed of any team in South America. I got a crazy stat. According to FaultMob, they've generated 33 big chances, and they've missed 20 mother effing 2. You have a 33% conversion rate on big chances, and to some who don't watch Colombia, who didn't watch the Copa America, and you don't watch the qualifiers, you'll be surprised by that, I should say. But if you actually watch Colombia and you watch that Ecuador game, I mean, jeez, bro. I mean, Jean Cordoba should have had a brace in this game. John Arias, did you see his one-on-one miss with Galindez? It was harder to miss than score. Luis Diaz has a wide open header back post, and to his credit, it goes off the bar. I mean, it's not like he just completely scuffs it. I mean, he missed, but it wasn't a disaster. I mean, credit to Ecuador, who I'm going to get to. They're one of my other big takeaway teams. Ecuador next. But I think we're just seeing a very good national team with an extremely wasteful front 3 of Arias, Diaz, Cordoba. None of those guys are clinical. And I think we're seeing a bit of it happened against Bolivia, where it was like, how have they not scored? It happened again against Ecuador. It's like, how have they not scored? Uruguay was a different beast. They didn't deserve to win that game. Mojica just forgot how to play physical at the end there and dropped points. I'm not worried unless this continues on. I'm trying to draw an NBA comparison. Who's like a team? It's like the Rockets, dude. I don't know, we always do this. If you live and die by the 3, you ain't hitting the 3, you're going to die. That's what it is. In Colombia, you live and die by Luis Diaz being clinical, you're going to die some days.
Yeah.
And they've been dying lately.
You're going to feast. You're going to have days where you feast, but then you're going to have days where, where it's looking rough.
Yeah. I mean, y'all, please watch the John Cordoba miss against Ecuador. He is wide open back post. He goes for the tap in, and I think trips and face plants, and the ball goes. I mean, James Rodriguez could not believe what he had just seen.
Mm-hmm.
It was a sight to behold. I'm not worried unless who's Colombia's next game? I can check right now. They have Brazil away and Paraguay at home. Damn, that's a tough ass fixture next.
That might be the most difficult window. I think it has
Yeah.
to be, right? I literally don't think there's a more difficult combination.
So I'm not worried, but I'd love to hear what Colombians think in the comments because you can't win them all, and I think they're just kind of dropping. I put it like this also. It's not like when Uruguay was down bad, and it's not like
Mm-mm.
when Brazil was down bad, where like nothing was happening the entire game. That has not been the case with Colombia. They're just missing everything. John Duran has to start. He has to start.
He has to. He has to. Frankly, he should probably be starting for Aston Villa as well.
Yes. Like, I don't know
I think that would be
why
best
all the
for
managers in the
everybody.
world, everybody got together and were like, we just don't start him. No matter how good he is, just keep him on the bench. It's crazy. It's a conspiracy.
Because they know he's going to break football.
He probably would. This man barely played at the Copa America. Never forget. You got a takeaway or thoughts on Colombia?
I think you hit it perfectly. It's really hard to tell whether this is good form or this is who they are. Contrary to most, as you're insinuating, Argentines, I don't necessarily think that it's who they truly are. I think it's got to be a little bit of bad form. It's got to be a little bit of bad form. That being said, you just hope they capture it before they come back to the World Cup. You got 6 games. You got one more window left before you have to start ramping up again and getting ready.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
have
if they take
one
1
more.
point next window, that's bad.
That's
really
bad.
bad now.
Because how does the seeding work? The last thing these guys want to do is get into the group of death.
Yeah.
Which
They
they
don't
would
wanna
be
be a
really
pot 3
fun.
team or something.
No. And my friend, that could happen. Don't let this form carry on. Not when Uruguay and Ecuador seem to be playing fun. If Brazil figures it out, you in trouble. Don't do that.
Yeah. That being said, they take 6 next window, which is a long shot.
Yeah.
But they take 6, all is restored and the balance
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
universe.
Balance is restored. Literally, this is a nothing segment.
Yeah. Like,
We love those.
everybody could just skip this Colombia part. Do you want to talk about Ecuador for a second? Because I feel like we should.
I do want to talk about Ecuador for a second.
All right, what you got to say about Ecuador?
We just got to give them their flowers. Bunch of haters out there. I think I was probably among them.
Us?
No. Just in general. Ecuador's got a lot of haters out there. I think us from time to time. But listen, man. In our defense, who saw this coming? Who could have guessed? Who could have known? What, I was supposed to look at how Ecuador's been doing and then just assume that they were going to end up third in the table? I'm not having that.
I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure that, at least me personally, I think I've predicted Ecuador's last 6 results except for Colombia. And God, dude, the Colombia game. I mean, bro, I'm sorry. Like, Colombia missed so many effing chances. And I hate doing this because Ecuador is my favorite team in South America. I hope they win the damn table. But the fact is, they got very lucky against Colombia. And offensively, they are still not a good team. Defensively, Ecuador have cemented themselves as the best team. They are ridiculous right now. And Galindez in goal has been insane. Do you know his save percentage in qualifying is 88% as a goalkeeper?
That's pretty filthy.
It's disgusting. Yeah. And that's gonna be Ecuador's trap card. They got a little lucky against Colombia. They got the 3 points. The first team to get a dub in Barranquilla. You have to give flowers for the defensive performance. But the team still has massive question marks. That's the thing for me. It's just like if Bolivia won one. Remember, Bolivia beat Venezuela. It's not like everybody was like, "Is Bolivia the third best team in CONMEBOL?" Nobody was saying. Well, actually, some people were, but we weren't saying that. You can't also have a crazy overreaction to a really, really good victory from Ecuador here.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing. But defensively, man, well, they got 4 goals allowed in 12. Stop playing with them. That's crazy. That is
4 goals allowed
insane.
in 12. And let's check this out. In their last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so before the Bolivia game, there had not been more than 1 goal in a single one of their games. I mean, frankly, no, wait, hold on. 2 goals in 4. What does that put you at? 0.5? 0.5 goals a game expected in 4 games
Wait.
before that?
They've scored 2 goals in 4 games?
No, so since the Copa America, up until this game against Bolivia, they had played against Brazil and Peru. In both of those games, 1 goal happened. Ecuador scored against Peru, and Brazil scored against Ecuador. 0-0 against Paraguay, 0-0 against Uruguay. There's a 0.5, not 0.5. Well, yes, there's that is 0.5 goals a game. There's a 50% chance that a single goal is going to be scored per game. Am I doing that correctly? Percentages were never my strong suit.
2 divided by 4, yes.
That's insane.
Something else that blew my mind is I was looking at Becasese versus Felix Sanchez as Ecuador manager, and these numbers are insane. So both managers have overseen 6 World Cup qualifiers with Ecuador. Both managers have exactly 3 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss, which means both managers have exactly 1.8 points per match in charge of Ecuador. Both of them lost 1-0 on the road against CONMEBOL giants. Becasese lost to Brazil in his first game. Felix Sanchez lost to Argentina in his first game. The biggest difference between the two managers so far is Becasese has a ridiculous 5 clean sheets and 6. Felix Sanchez, I say, only had 3 in his 6 games. So that's 8 clean sheets from 12 overall for Ecuador. It's incredible. Like, this back line, probably every single one of them could be at a top 2 club in any league, any top 5 league in Europe, 100%. All of them.
Yeah, and they would
That's how good they are.
Fit. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. I'll say what impressed me the most about Ecuador is the fact that Incampié got a red card against Colombia, and they were a man down for so long and still held on. And as much as I want to give credit to Ecuador, and they deserve it, I have to say they were also very fortunate. Like, it's just a fact. They were very lucky against Colombia. But they won't care. Ecuador's in 3rd, which is insane. Ecuador's in 3rd with how many points they got right now? Because they got the 3 points deduction. They would be on 22 points right underneath Argentina if not for the Byron Castillo case. That is ridiculous. For a team that is so offensively dead, to be in that position is crazy. I feel like I'm watching like Egypt under Carlos Queiroz again. Just cannot score, but they're going to 1-0 their way to the championship. I mean, that's what it is.
And they will have deserved it.
Correct. If they could just get their goals per match to like just 1. Just get it to 1. Then they are going to be a very nightmare team at the World Cup. People will not want to be drawn in with Ecuador.
A very nightmare team?
Yeah, a very nightmare team.
A very nightmare team. I don't think that you could use that word like that. A very nightmare team.
They're not an adjective and...
A very a nightmarish team.
Yeah, you could say nightmarish. Yeah, a nightmarish team.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be teaching this man English and Spanish.
That's why I can't speak either language correctly.
So we both sound unintelligible up here.
That's why I've been making hella grammatical errors.
The blind leading the blind.
Last thing I'm gonna say before we gotta go here is Paraguay are top 3 in CONMEBOL right now. They're a top 3 team. A top 3, baby. Longest
Yeah.
unbeaten streak right now. 6 games. Ecuador is right behind them, to be fair, with 5.
How long do you think this lasts? Are they in good form, or is this who they are?
Now that I've said it, they'll lose their next match.
That's the way of the world. That's the only thing you can count on. Now that we've said it out loud, it's so done.
Dude, they're so losing 3-0 in their next game. Who was it against?
Oh, dude, they're cooked.
They are playing. Oh, dude, if they lose to Chile at home, I'm going to be the biggest jinx of all time.
Yeah.
They won't, though. They won't.
No.
Give me your top 3 in CONMEBOL in order right now.
Oh, I hate this. I hate this immediately. Instantly. I loathe this.
That's why
Are we talking full strength, or are we talking as they are now?
As they are now. Current form. Because if everybody's 100%, Paraguay's not top 3, right? They just don't have the personnel, but...
Well, I'm just trying to decide if Uruguay makes it in.
Okay.
I'm not ready to take Colombia out of the top 3 yet. Okay. So I'll say, you know what? This is going to be crazy. I'm going to get crucified for this. I'm going to say Argentina and Colombia share the 1 spot.
Okay.
And then the third would probably be... I would have slotted in Brazil or Uruguay had they beaten each other. If Uruguay had beaten Brazil, would have said Uruguay. Brazil beaten Uruguay, would have said, or excuse me, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? I think I might have to give it to Paraguay there. No, Ecuador. Boom. There it is.
I'm going to go Argentina 1. I'm still going to say Colombia 2. I'm going to say Paraguay 3, Ecuador 4. I think they're right there. They're right there with each other. But I'm going to give Paraguay the edge just because they have more impressive wins lately to me. And the manner in which they won was more impressive. Like, to compare Paraguay beating Argentina 2-1 and Colombia or Ecuador beating Colombia 1-0, totally different games. Like, nothing in common at all. Paraguay was like 50-50, bloody, emotional, like crazy moments of play. Ecuador was like John Lucumi having the worst defensive showing I've ever seen, and Valencia having a great goal, and then just like staunch defending from Ecuador with 10 men. Very different. Very, very different.
Could I be choosing Ecuador because they didn't beat Argentina? Probably.
Oh, I mean, the streets of Buenos Aires were saying it was the fluke of the century.
Do we want to talk about yellow cards? Red cards?
What happened with the yellow cards?
Wasn't there somebody who should have been off that scored the second goal against Argentina? I think there was.
Sanabria was supposed to be off?
I think so. That's what the streets are saying. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Oh, no. I saw Messi was mad because he thought somebody should have gotten a second yellow for a tough challenge, and they didn't.
Yeah.
That's what I remember seeing, like at halftime or something.
And I think that was De Paul that said that.
I don't know. I just know Messi looked pissed, and he doesn't usually get that emotional.
No, he don't get heated. Yeah.
But he was pissed. At this point, as of time of recording, post Thanksgiving, I have no idea what the hell happened in that game. I forgot everything.
Yeah. I remember
we could have
the
this
goal
completely backwards.
Yeah, we could have this totally backwards. Yeah, it was really McAllister that committed an egregious slide tackle on somebody, and he should have been sent off.
Correct.
Hey, shout out to my boy getting a goal against Real Madrid.
We're going to end the episode there, guys. We hope you enjoyed this CONMEBOL Takeaways episode. Let us know what you think down below about the entire madness that is qualification in South America. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you're listening on streaming platforms, give the podcast a 5-star rating. Lastly, you can check us out, Deadball TV, on social media. The links are in the description. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll see y'all in the next one.